Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Dose. It is nighttime here in Australia, so hopefully, for those that are experiencing their day today, it is fantastic. For those that it's finished, well, of course, go kick back, relax, chill out. Some Dynasty Scrolls action is coming your way. In terms of today, if you're new and visiting, welcome, of course. If you are pre-existing and haven't subscribed, don't be a lazy bum and do it. It is, it's literally painless, but it will, of course, help this channel grow. We are very, very close to 500, which is quite impressive considering how shortly ago I think we started. But I love that. So thank you for the support and the continued faith in growing this channel. Never feel afraid to comment or hit me up or make suggestions or critique. Whatever you want to do, I'm open. We do have a Discord, which we're just starting out. I think it's a link in the description. It should be. So feel free to drop in there, ask more specific questions if you want some more in-depth answers. And of course, we can do screenshots and stuff like that. So feel free to join. Everyone is welcome. In terms of today, we're just going to talk a little bit about the arms race, a bit about the Billionaire event. I'm really just prepping myself for when I hit to level 90 on the Warlord account. I think that's when the fireworks are going to go off because we're going to be able to do, some good advancements. I figure we'll hit a billion. I don't know just how much power we're actually going to get out of it. I would like to get to 1.2, 1.3 billion, but we'll see. It would also be amazing if somehow we magically got to 2 billion, but I don't think we have enough saved up just for that. In terms of God's blessing, we'll cover that briefly. So as you can see, you can buy these gold ensigns, which are going to be used in the arms race. Pretty typical value. Of course, you're going to get some additional drums and horns, which is quite nice. And that'll just add to your total tally of heroes, or army, I should say. We can cover that in a second. Billion event, it closed off today. I managed to hit ninth, so I got 30 of the little silver mices. I did go ahead and make sure I had everything planned out, so I purchased myself a Karkadan. And the reason being is because I already had a Fire Kitty ready to go. So if I go into my bag, basically I got these bad boys ready to go. They're just chilling. I did, of course, get enough copies to get another copy of the Karkadan, so we're ready to start him up potentially tomorrow, maybe the day after. And of course, I can finally finish off the mechanical bird and get started on the Inferno Kitty. The reason that I decided to go with Karkadan is simple. Fire Kitty is great for trials, but in reality, I feel like Karkadan is just a better investment. I want to focus on one beast to 7-star first before I sort of spread it all around, if that makes sense. And it's just a tactic that I feel like is going to benefit my team a lot more. I'm actually going to start to focus on maxing out Zhu to 7-star next. After I manage to, I feel like I'm going to get Dao Chan to 4-star pretty easily for free. Old mate Zhao Shi's going to take a buttload of time and effort to do it. So I figured, you know what? I'm just going to focus on Zhu to 7-star. And then after that, I can start to work on Zhao C instead. Not Shi, C. I don't know how to pronounce it. We're going to call him Zhao. All right. That's it. Fine. Ray. You're going to give me a complex, all right? I can't pronounce these names. But anyway, that's my plan, is to focus on 1 to 7. And I want to focus on Karkadan to 7 stars as well. And then I'll obviously do the Fire Kitty after that. And that's really what I would suggest players start to do if you're, I mean, granted, I could spend money and just spread it all around, but I feel like I'm just going to get better results by focusing on one and then try to maximize it that way. And a lot of games have the same sort of feature. This is a great event, by the way. If you're going to spend any money on it, I feel like this Unlimited Heroes is fantastic. I like any event that gives me a little scoreboard that I honestly, just a sidetrack. I spent like $20 and I got to ninth. Like, $20 ain't that much, considering how much I've already spent on this game to be VIB 10. I know that's going to look very different to a lot of other people out there, but I'm pretty happy with that result. And of course, we did manage to get some of those beasts as well. But as we progress, let's talk a little bit about Arms Race. Now, Arms Race is I want to say it's a little bit of a contentious point because a lot of players will go, ooh, shiny, 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 and then get bedazzled by some of the rewards and the options. Because unlike most other events like Celebrate Festival, this one actually allows you to get some pretty premium rewards. And as we dive into it, the premise of this is if you're new and visiting, when this appears on your server, it's okay. You can look back on this. I'll cover it when I do my Way Nation as well, which is like the mini account. But essentially, you need to be in a guild. That's step one. And then based on your contribution and your guild's total contribution towards your troops, you then get these additional rewards. As you can see, troop level 3 is fairly achievable and you get 5 merit badges, you get some gold. You get gold most levels, which is, I think, fantastic. But mainly you're looking for these gold ultimate badges because they're the ones that are going to give you the best result. Now, you don't need to worry about spending them. You can save these badges, the gold ones, the silver ones, the bronze ones. They roll over. The ones that don't roll over is the currency itself, such as the horns and the drums and the golden flags. So, in terms of being able to acquire this, throughout the event, you'll be able to get your daily login, which is absolutely phenomenal. Gold is, I love gold. Give me as much gold for free as you want, game. I will never say no. Um, like literally ever. But for the rest of it, I mean, this is really your choice. This is if you wanna like blow all your saved up currency to do your warrior trials, your behemoth raids, your expeditions, your treasure hunts. I mean, you're not going to be at a disadvantaged position because this is kind of like opposed to the Celebrate Festival. This is like a guarantee, so you know that you're going to be able to max out most of these if you put your little bit of effort into it. I'm going to say you'll be able to max out the majority of these to get the currency. Whereas the Celebrate Festival is RNG based, it's kind of shit, not going to lie, and it's very much pay to win. Whereas this is a little bit more friendly in terms of you being able to progress if you are a light spender or a free to play player. But what I would say is Conquest is a fucking trap. Like, let's be honest. I mean, I was just chilling. I had 2 or 3 thousand gold, and then some goober came along and killed me, for no apparent reason at all. Like, you can just leave me with my HP at 5, but no, old mate, this guy had to come in and kill me. Uh, if I come find you later, you'll know why. But anyway, as you can see, you can let other players have a little bit of a farm on you, but the reality is you don't need to kill players. If you do it as an accident, look, that's okay. I understand, but at the end of the day, uh, you gotta be a little bit mindful of this. I'm gonna relocate to the triple one. Watch me die within 30 minutes. But you know this is our strategy right here. Um, some servers form alliances and things like that, which is fine, whatever. It's not going to help you in the end, but you know, it is what it is, right? I feel like this is a bit of a trap, but if you want to do the conquest, I would just say go find yourself a whale like this dude, 1.4 billion. Throw yourself at him, refresh your troops, go back in, throw yourself at him, and you will, of course, be able to get some drums for it. Is it worth it? No. Do you really. Are you going to enjoy the process? Probably not. So, you know, that's your choice. Anyway, that aside, everything else is very much attainable. Just grind it out. And what are you going to actually get? So, if you decide to spend a little bit of money or grind out everything and honestly nobody else on your server wants to compete with you, you're actually in a good position to get your first free butterfly feather. As you can see, I already have 4 of these ones. I pretty much land within the top. I want to say I need to get to the 5th spot. Like, I'm not going to lie. I really do need to get this stupid ass feather and then I can make some progress. But Whether or not I decide to spend is another something I'll have to think about. This event really isn't worth spending money on, by the way. I'm just going to make very, very clear. In terms of what you get, it's not worth it, but what you can buy, it becomes worth it. So, even though I know that sounds like an oxymoron, a little, what is this boy talking about? What I mean is, you really do have to whale pretty hard to get these Thunderfire feathers. To compete. Whereas realistically, most people will find themselves sort of blocked without being able to advance with the Frostward feather. This it's one of those things where you kind of need to hit into the top five. But in reality, is it worth you spending hundreds of dollars to do it? Arguably no. Arguably no. But hey, if you're on a lucky server, maybe you can negotiate it with your guild mates, and they might be nice enough to drop down a rank. But in terms of this, when you go shopping, let's talk a little bit about the gold. So mostly you're going to be buying these ones out. Um, I'm going to buy the extra 10 when I get that 1,000 gold chilling there. So you want to be buying these ones out. You need 5k gold to do it. You need to buy all 50 of them. So I'll be back tomorrow to buy the rest of them. And the reason being is because this is how you're going to get ultimate merit. So as you can see, you do your contribution. And I got all my ultimate merit there. So I've got 40 of them. You can do your daily purchases. Honestly, if you're going to purchase anything, make sure you... This, my friends, is better value by about 20%. You're going to get a lot more... this is like a baby God's Blessing, by the way. When the big God's Blessing comes, you're going to get quite a lot of gold feathers. But I like the fact you can get war drums and horns as well, which kind of adds to your total. You don't need to whale out on this event, but if you're going to do it, you might as well maximize it with God's Blessing. And the reason being, of course, is you can spend your silver merits on stuff like this. Absolutely fantastic if you're early game and you want to make some progress. I mean, I would absolutely love to be able to build some of these epic weapons, max out my 7-star heroes on my Baby Way Nation. Man, I'd even buy some of these if I had enough lying around. But, in terms of when you advance as a player, beast pills are pretty much everything that you will be spending your silver on. You may even decide to buy some for gold because there's a little bit of value there. There are better events where it's 20% off though, or 30% off, where I probably would recommend buying it from there. But if you got the spare 3k gold and you just bought the fire kitty and you have no resources, i.e. beast spells to level him up, or her up or it up, depending on how you want to describe it, I would use my gold and buy some of those just to do the levels up. But that's me personally. You can buy 200 of them, which is not too bad because I think I'll get to 200 silver by the end of this event. But in terms of what everybody is here for, you're like, shut up, PB, we just want to talk about the shiny stuff. Fair enough. Fair enough. But as I progressed and played this game more, the more that I talk to other players that have been playing it as long, if not longer than me, I've come to the conclusion that this is a trap. This page here kind of, it lulls you into the obvious choice. So we should buy shards, right? I've done this. I've done this many times, and I don't regret it. But the point that I would like to make is there comes a stage where if you just want to build the base, if you're just trying to build the base legendary hero, and this is one of the ways for you to do it, you need to recognize what heroes you can build from the wishing shop, i.e. Dan Wei. You can build Marchow. You can build, I believe it is the bunny girl from the shop. And of course, the last but not least is Dal Chan. So you really wouldn't be spending it to get shards to build those characters because you're going to be able to get 3 a day for free once you unlock the wishing shop. So you wouldn't be spending it there. The other thing you'd have to think about is how much can I realistically gain by building 4 legendary heroes, but not being able to actually build them into 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, etc., etc. Because it gets fucking expensive. Like, spoiler alert, it gets when you have four legendaries, you constantly realize just how hard it is to progress. Um, and of course, that's the aim of the game. Don't get me wrong. But the reality is, it's sometimes just better to say, all right, I'm just going to focus on one legendary hero. And if I can use the shards the first time around, the merit badges, I can do it. I'm good to go. I wouldn't try and chase all four. That's where I'm trying to get at. Because the reality is, if you try to chase all four, you're going to pass up being able to get some of the things that are realistically going to take you to the next level, and that's going to be your charms. Charms is what sets you apart from most other players, is being able to get your legendary charms. Everyone needs to get Moonlight Dance to be the first one. I would argue this would probably be your best charm out there. For the silence factor, it attacks the player with the highest rage and has a 35% chance to silence the target. I believe it even gets better as you progress along. Granted, it's gonna be an expensive process, but eventually you're gonna be able to get that to a 50. Is it 50% chance? 50% chance, yeah. Which is kind of Dao Chan in a nutshell. She's not fantastic until you get a past 4 star, but after that, she starts to become a little bit more viable with that silence ability. Very much similar to this Moonlight Dance. A few people use the Vanquisher Charm as well. It's not bad. These are kind of where most people would say you should be trying to build. This is an interesting one. I was thinking about getting this over the Moonlight Dancer, but I'm not sure where I sit on that. If you know the answer to that, is Demon's Roar better than Moonlight Dancer? Because it's damage reduction and it has chance to reduce rage. I'm just thinking, you know, down the line, is this going to be better for me? Because I know that there's a lot of immunity based heroes in Gen 5. And sorry if I'm off track here. I like to ponder these thoughts as I speak. But yeah, I'm thinking, because rage reduction is technically something that can't be immune. And a lot of the Gen 5s have immunity to a lot of CC and debilitating, basically anything that sort of comes against them. They can become immune to it. This one's interesting. Damage bonus removal. Burns them. Okay. Well, I think I don't know. I don't know. This one or the other one would be my choice here. But that's kind of where I think most people are going to stray, and they're going to be thinking, "Oh, let's just see if we can build all four of these legendary heroes." Um, hey, let's buy the rest of the Moon Fan, because I could buy it. I've got enough of the bloody tokens to do it. But the reality is, this is going to come in a rebate situation. I'd like to say this about this too. I'd like to preface that a lot of these heroes are going to become obviously limited hero events. Again, that's pretty common. But you're going to get mini rebates that are going to give you 15 shards of these heroes. Sometimes 30 shards in one go. You're also going to get rebate of items that is going to give you these in 15 to 30 shards per go. Like, for instance, scroll, premium summer, I should say, not scroll. Premium summon 50 times, and you'll get like 20 shards. Poor example, but that's literally, they do that every week, right? So you're going to be able to make and accrue a lot of these other things. You can't do that for charms, which is kind of what sets everything apart. And that's sort of where I'm at in the game, where I'm thinking, you know what, I like the idea of outfits. I'm a dirty skin collector. I love the idea of legendary transformations and things like that, of course. But the reality is charms. Charms maybe are where it's at. That's what sets everything apart. In terms of buying out butterfly feathers, as I said, look, if this is your first time and you really want your wings, it will boost your power up, of course. You can get them from the wishing shop for 800 stones. I probably wouldn't do it from the wishing shop. If you want to waste 5,000 gems like gold on this event, I'm not gonna call you out on it. If that makes you happy, it's not a bad idea to get the butterfly feather. But eventually you're gonna kick yourself, because you're gonna be like, dude, the arms race next event, nobody wailed, and then I managed to get into the top You're like, then I whale. Nobody whaled on my servant, and then I got in the top 10, and I got these butterfly feathers, but I can't use them. They're useless. You're gonna find yourself in that situation because it'll happen eventually. So I probably would say be patient before buying out those feathers. But anyway, I think that pretty much covers everything that I want to talk about in terms of this progress. I will be covering a little bit on the Baby Way Nation. I probably should stick most of that content over there. I don't want to confuse anyone with mixed messages about God's blessing. There is certainly some value in the later versions of God's blessing, but the earlier ones are horse shit. Quite literally the worst things that I've looked at, and I was scratching my head going, how did I ever think this was actually good money? Anyway, we'll cover that in another one. Um, I think tomorrow we should hit 90. I don't know. I don't know because I'm chewing through these SP stones like they're candy. I max this out as much as I can. My goal is, of course, to hit 90 as soon as possible. I'll see. I'll see if I can manage to do it. I don't think there's anywhere else that I can buy SP from. If there is, I probably would be doing it. But we'll see. I'll be back on that at some point. I'll see if I can. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to keep saying I'll see. Is there anything I can buy here? No. I'm poor. I'm poor. Look at that. 4 gold. What has happened, PB? You're being lazy again. All right. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.